Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about reasons why properties don't sell. Now, before we go any further, please don't forget to like our page, Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, all can be found under Remax Khane or Khane Real Estate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Remax Khane, to get all the videos and all the feedback and even some feature properties that we are advertising and working on. Feel free to reach out to us through any of the contact information on your screen or at the end of the video, and we'd be happy to help you. So, reasons why properties don't sell. This is not an exhaustive list, but I'm going to give you 3 reasons today for why properties don't sell. The number 1 reason, and in no particular order, pricing. Many properties are overpriced based on other advertisements. You go through the hit ad, you look online and you see asking prices and you think, that's the price that I can get. No, wrong. That's the asking price. Many times, very well overpriced. We have gone over this in our previous videos, so you can watch those. Overpricing based on your need as opposed to the market value. Again, we've talked about that before, but this is a reminder for you. Market price is not dictated by your need or your debt or your requirement. It's based on the value that the buyer sees in that area or on that property. Comparing apples versus oranges or historicals without taking into account current economic and market conditions. What do I mean by that? You're comparing your property to another property just because it's in the same general area, but not factoring many other things that come into play when it comes to pricing. We've talked about this before as well, about the shape of your property, the road width, what value or what benefits your property has as opposed to that one, and vice versa. There are so many factors that go into play, so you cannot just simply say, oh, that property is in this area and it's similar to mine from a generic perspective. You have to get into the details of why it would be similar and what makes it different. And then the current economic conditions and the market conditions dictate a lot to do with pricing. Pricing always doesn't go up, it stagnates. In some areas, even now, we're seeing it come down. Of course, there are reasons for this to be a good market to buy in right now, economic reasons, but it also may be held up by people's refusal to let go of the cash that they have in hand. So you can't compare things that are not the same and draw conclusions on pricing, and you also have to look at the current market. And another reason why pricing gets messed up is because people rely on friends and family and they get bad advice. People who are not in the real estate market or don't have their pulse on what's going on in real estate on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week, month-to-month basis should not be advising you. They might have good intentions, they might want to help you out, but it often leads to misinformation, misguided information, you hearing things that you like, and therefore you take it as good information and good knowledge. If I wanted advice on the stock market, I'm going to go to someone who's dealing with the stock market every day. It could be a stockbroker, or it could be someone who deals with buying and selling stocks for themselves on a very regular basis. If I'm looking into agriculture and I want to get pricing on how the business works, wholesale values, etc., I'm not going to go to some random person just because he and I get along and we know each other and listen to his advice. I'm going to need to know what background does he have in this. Is the advice he is giving actually information that is coming from a perspective of knowledge, or is he just sharing what he thinks about the situation? And that error happens a lot in real estate. People see one advertisement, or they sold a property of theirs several years ago, or they feel like they know enough to advise people and they give bad advice. Over and over and over again we find that. And so I urge you, when you're selling your property, make sure the person who's advising you knows what's actually going on in the real estate market. He may even be into real estate, but is he aware of what's going on in your area or your segment of real estate? Number 2 for why properties don't sell: family disputes. There are multiple owners of the property and they're not on the same page. One of the members changes their mind about pricing halfway through the process. See, these kind of things can mess up a sale, because when you have a buyer in hand, he's not waiting for you to sort out all these things. He's assuming you have already come to your conclusions and decided on things, and that's why it's for sale. So he is looking to make a move. If he gets any hint that there is some family dispute here, or there's a problem, or you're going to drag it out, or there might even be a legal issue, even though there may not be, he might draw that conclusion. He's going to run away. And you have lost a legitimate buyer. A solution to this is, if there are multiple owners, don't make it personal and don't make the situation fluid. By that I mean, sit down, talk transparently as if it's a business meeting. Figure out what is it that you all want to accomplish. Only the owners, don't get outsiders involved. It just becomes really messy. If you need the help of an external person, get one person to help you mediate, but make sure that person is knowledgeable and knows what they're talking about. Not just a good person, but a good person who has knowledge on the subject, who can help you all think through this. Then make firm decisions and move forward. Don't be constantly changing or wavering back and forth. You will lose buyers, you will lose time, and the longer your property sits on the market, the more stale it gets, and the more people start to wonder what's wrong with that property, or there might even be rumors about it which are completely unfounded. Third reason for why properties don't sell: your documentation is not in order. I've gone over this before, but I just want to remind everyone, this causes a lot of delays. Historical documentation needs to be available. Don't tell the buyer, listen, I'm giving you what I have in hand, you should be happy with it. No, he needs to be satisfied that everything falls into place, and his legal advice, a lot has changed over the last 20-30 years. His lawyer will want certain documents in order. You as the seller need to furnish that or help them obtain it, because you are the owner, you are the one who may need to sign off on obtaining that documentation, whether it's historical documents, other legal paperwork if you had a testamentary case, or other issues that you need to furnish, you need to make available these documents. And then your certificates and approvals and all need to be current. So there's a long list of things. A lot of people have it in order, but many people have not looked at their paperwork in decades, or it was passed on to them by their parents, and they think, oh, just because no one has disputed my ownership up to now, and this is my parents' house, my grandparents' house, the buyer will be okay to buy it as is. No, that is not the way it works, and that's not the way it works for banks. So we need to be mindful of this. So I gave you 3 reasons for why properties don't sell, or why they sit on the market for a long time. There are plenty of other reasons, and maybe we'll bring it up in another video. But if you overcome these 3 primary issues, then your property is likely to sell much quicker, and actually even sell at a better rate. Because when there are problems, it actually, without your knowledge, brings the price down. I should say, actually, when there are delays, when there is cause for doubt in the buyer's mind, it gradually brings the price down. And the longer your property sits on the market, the more skeptical people become, the more they worry about, is there an issue? Of course, if they go through the property documents, they will find out in most cases for your property that it's fine, but you need to get them to that point. But getting them to that point requires them to have confidence that they are not just wasting their time. So help them make an informed decision, help them want to buy your property because you want to sell it, and help yourself by not falling into these little issues that will create hindrances for your property to sell and become stale while sitting on the market, and people thinking, oh, that property has been there for a couple years, something must be wrong with it, or that owner is crazy, or that pricing is messed up, and then rumors fly, and then you're stuck with this huge asset that continues to be a mental and maybe even a financial liability for you. All right, more videos to come. Once again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Remax Khane, like our Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, all under Remax Khane or Khane Real Estate, and we hope to see you next time. Thanks.